Welcome to Expert Sessions by Xperto. This podcast aims to provide a platform for our partner professional organizations to promote lifelong learning outside the confines of traditional education. If you are a young professional looking to elevate your learning experience through bite-sized content from experts, then this show is for you. Get ready to explore and experience a different side of known professionals in the country, made by the experts for the experts. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Expert Sessions. So for this session, I have a very special guest host. So let me call on Joel.
I'm here. Good morning. Hello po. Thank you for having me, Emma. And I'm excited to have this conversation. Very important for both women and men who have women in their lives that they really care for. So that's all of you, really.
Yes. So we have invited another, sabi nga tayo, diba, expert sessions, another expert from one of partner organizations of Xperto. So today I've invited an inspiring woman who is in the field of medicine. So in particular, she specializes in obstetrics and gynecology. So let me introduce our guest for today. So she is an assistant professor 6 of the Department of OBGYN UERM College of Medicine. She's also the chief section of reproductive medicine of ARMMC and Mandaluyong Medical Center. And she's the overall chair of the organizing committee of PSRM Mid-Year Convention and ACE 2023, and currently the vice president of the Philippine Society for Reproductive Medicine and a board member of Philippine Society of Climacteric Medicine. So malalaman natin mamaya yung mga terminologies na yan. And she's also the current fellow of the Philippine Obstetrical and Gynecological Society and a fellow of the Philippine Society of Reproductive Medicine. Okay, without further ado, let us welcome to the show a woman of passion, Dr. Debby F. Pacquing-Songco. Hi, Doc Debby.
Hi, Eman. Hi, Joel. Thank you for having me this morning after a very long traffic.
What matters is we're here right now.
Yes,
We can
that's
have
correct.
the important conversations.
Yeah, so syempre, mag-start tayo muna
Grabe.
kay
Grabe yung intro ni Eman pa lang. Parang ang dami nang nangyari, but we would love to know, like, maybe rewind, no? Take you back to Baby Debby.
To
Di
Baby
ba
Debby.
Fetus baby. Parang, has this always been your dream? Like, kasi diba may mga tao who like know from the start, I want to be a doctor
Doctor.
I want to be
someday.
an engineer.
Right?
I want to be...
But
Actually
has
not.
that been?
My first dream was actually to become a teacher.
Okay.
And then it went into a dream of becoming an astronaut because I liked science.
Yeah.
And then through years of siguro being, actually, it was an inspiration from an UPSCAN. I'm from UP, Student Catholic Action. So one of our kuyas there was a med student at that time.
Oh.
So we had a short talk on life and a lot of other things. So doon ako siguro na-inspire in a way. But definitely, I didn't want to become a doctor at the get-go. Parang hindi yun yung I want to be an engineer. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to teach.
Mhm.
Which is still something you're doing.
It's still something I'm doing at the moment as I'm an assistant professor in the College of Medicine.
Yeah, wow. But so was there a particular point? Like, do you remember when you were talking to that kuya of yours from way back? And you were like, parang gusto ko rin nun.
Yeah, and
What
I
happened
did know
then? Yeah.
kasi I am the first doctor in the family.
Yes.
So wala talagang parang background na, oy, mom ko kasi is a doctor and you know that stuff. No, unlike other doctors who had, my mom kasi is like this and like that. I want to be like her. So I came from a family with no doctors, but my dad is an ophthalmologist, not an optometrist, no, but segued into becoming a policeman.
Oh, okay.
Baka ayaw niya talaga. Well, anyway, that was when I get to talk with that kuya, no, sometime in a medical mission. Kasi ano siya parang community service for the UPSCA. So siguro there, I got the inspiration of serving others. And then I'm here. So
So
Pero-
that was in college. And your undergraduate is
BS Food Technology.
BS Food Tech.
Pero gusto maging teacher, pero patang food tech. I love
Yeah.
that. It really goes
Actually,
to show,
it wasn't my number one choice when I entered college.
Yeah.
But an uncle said, bago to.
Doon na lang.
Kunin mo to. Kasi I was also accepted as PT in Manila.
Okay.
Pero kasi I wanted Diliman. So,
Para closer.
para closer sa bahay. So,
Same.
oo. So I took BSFT and then thereafter a lot of chemistry kasi 'di ba chem subjects and physics, and all my other classmates were hell-bent on going into med school.
Oh, okay.
Sila lahat parang
So baka nandun na
Parang
pala.
food tech nga is a very one of the choices pag gusto mo talaga mag-med eh.
or kasi madami actually siyang segue.
Right.
If you're not really into med, tapos talagang food tech, or kunyari nagdalawang isip ka, you go to a
Mga
science-related.
labs.
Gotcha, right. So baka earlier on,
Baka na-
slowly na inception na.
May inception na baka.
Okay, I love that. So okay, you decided, okay, I want to help other people, I want to save lives or help make lives better. You enter med school, but that's another journey, yung parang
Correct.
choosing your path, right?
Yeah.
What led you to that naman, Doc?
Actually, it was a long process because when I went into med school, syempre med school, you're still dependent on parents, on guardians for money and all that stuff. While your other counterparts, your classmates who graduated na as food tech, one was once actually in the States as research for a big company, a chocolate company.
Making bank
Yes,
already. Wow,
And there were times, Joel, that we were going out with these friends, group of friends, and then telling me, oh, you pay for the bill kasi doktor ka eh. But little did they know, I didn't have any money. So kasi we were students, no? So I told them, pag naging doktor na ako,
Wait lang.
No. So they usually pay for the bill, foot the bill, and then syempre along the way, med school kasi is 4 years, very long.
Yes.
3 years of didactics, classroom. And then on the 4th year, you go to clerkship. So that's clinics already. So you're the lowest of the low. And
There's a
then,
lot of graduations
Yes.
also. That fascinates me
correct.
about
And
med
on the
school.
5th year, you're a postgraduate intern. You're an MD already,
Oo,
but
intern.
not licensed.
Mm-mm.
And then you go into board exams, no? Tapos after that, you plan your way. But actually, other doctors, no, they go straight to residency. But I did not go to residency right away. I went into what we call moonlighting.
Ano naman yung doc, yung moonlight?
Yung moonlighting is like going into, as a GP, general practitioner, then you parang man the emergency rooms,
Mhm.
you assist the consultants, and then what else? You do outpatient consultations, but you're not yet a specialist.
Parang freelancing yun, no?
Medyo, in a way. And you get paid for
Yeah.
assisting, for seeing a patient, for doing suturing in the emergency room.
Mga ilang years so inabot yun from entering med school hanggang sa you get your license as a doctor? Parang getting a
Getting a
passing
license, so 3, 4, 5, siguro mga 6.
6 years.
Before you become a general practitioner.
GP pa lang yun.
GP,
Oo,
GP.
general.
Yeah, that's 6 years.
Okay.
So I went into that, and then it wasn't my cup of tea.
Okay. So we do know that it is a long journey in the medical path talaga. So you were moonlighting for like about how long?
Siguro about a year and a half. And then, kasi if it wasn't for me, I wanted to go into to a specialty training.
So dun po sa 1.5 year na yun, dun yung nakita yung calling na parang ito yung gusto kong specialize.
Yes. Kasi, actually, meron na ako inkling when I was a postgraduate intern. Pero I wasn't ready at the time, so I went into moonlighting. But my first love was actually plastic surgery.
Oh, naku, usong-uso yun
Yeah,
ngayon.
plastic surgery. So I went into that path. But unfortunately, the institution placed me in another path. Kasi parang you go into pre-residency program and then they choose sino.
They choose that for you.
So if it's you're going near sa plastic path, you go to general surgery and then other stuff, no. So they parang placed me that path of general surgery. It would take me like, if I wanted to pursue plastics, would take me about 9 years. More.
In addition.
5 years for surge and then 4 more years. So I wanted to go to the straight plastic program.
Yeah.
So I wasn't accepted. So my boyfriend at that time, who was also a doctor, wanted to become a pediatrician. So the path I went to was to partner with him.
Okay.
Ano ba bang partner ng pedia?
Makes sense.
OBGYN. But that was really not the first top of mind ko na choice. No? So I went into Obstetrics and Gynecology, syempre in my university.
Yeah.
So that was in UE, RM.
And then, what made you fall in love and stay?
In my first 2 years, I was actually questioning the choice. Because hindi naman talaga.
I think that's normal, especially if that wasn't really what you wanted.
I didn't want that at the first time. It was really plastic surgery that I wanted. What made me stayed on? Why? Because I saw medyo cliche, no? But it's reality na cliche. When you see you're bringing out a life, that's a big factor for us, no? So you see from patients getting pregnant and then taking care of them for 9 months and then delivering them and seeing the baby for the first time. That's an inspiration for everyone, no? So, but obstetrics and gynecology is really not just OB delivering a baby and all that stuff.
There's
no?
so much
Marami
more,
pa, no?
yeah.
And also, syempre, the mentors that I work with, who are my colleagues at the moment, they were also the ones who inspired me to pursue or move on. Because residency, it's different from med school. You know, the stuff of hierarchy and all that stuff. There is really that reality, no, during training. So siguro, along the way, I learned to accept that this is my path. Ako kasi, once I put my mind into it, I finish it.
You make that choice now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where we're at.
Eto na.
Okay.
I can't give up, no? I can't give up. So, pag sinabi kong yes, I'm going for this whatever project, I'm going to do that.
And that's what makes an expert, I would say, right? The many, whether there are like 1,000 hours that you need to put in to become an expert. And kasama doon yung commitment towards
That's correct.
Actually doing that. Wow, I
Pero
love that.
Doc, parang through all yung sa journey nyo for being a doctor and being a specialist, parang ano yung parang pinaka-difficult? Pero may times ba na parang parang ayoko na maging doctor. Pati yung time na parang ayoko nang maging OBGYN. Ano yung parang mga points na parang parang challenged you for yung
your
career
choices,
professionally.
It was actually I got married when I was in my second year of residency. That was a time kasi that hindi ka dapat kinakasal. During training. That's actually an unwritten rule. Sorry sa UE. Pero for all hospitals, this applies to all hospitals. No? So parang mas gusto mo na hindi ka kasal, hindi ka buntis.
Because it's time consuming.
The time na kailangan.
Because
focus.
Residency is really
by social life.
How do I call it? It's a training, talaga rigorous training. If it's kung sa military, it's the same thing with residency training for all specialty programs or residency training programs. So I got married at my second year, no, and dahil I also knew naman, I was aware na when I get pregnant, tapos ang hirap mag-duty, maiiwanan ko yung mga batchmates ko or my juniors. I couldn't do that to them as well. So I planned on my getting married second, and I promised na lang to have the baby or get pregnant sometime siguro after my residency training. But eventually, syempre, obstetrics and gynecologist kami. So we were naman inspired by the consultants to, sige na, you try it na, you're not getting younger. And when we go into residency training program, hindi naman kami 22 eh. So we're older, no? So sabi ko, sige. So I got pregnant on my 4th year. So I delivered my baby on my senior year. Tapos, syempre after obstetrics and gynecology, we're 6,000 strong OBGYNs in the Philippines. I wanted to become someone na different then. I wanted to have a subspecialty training, but I couldn't kasi I'm a mom already.
Caring for your own.
Sabi ko, it's a choice between being a mom and pursuing a training program again. So yun yung pinaka deciding factor. Kasi my consultants were, go into fellowship program, ganyan. Resident ka sa residency training program. When you go subspecialized, fellowship
next, okay,
program.
That's the other level na.
So just to parang appease my mentors, I applied.
Okay.
Nawala. Nothing in mind na if I get inside the specialty training program. Thank God.
Okay.
Pero kung hindi, okay lang. I have
I
my
did
baby
that. Yeah.
I need to earn.
Okay.
Para kain ko yung baby.
Of course.
And my husband was also just finished pediatrics at that time. And so we were young doctors who weren't earning anything yet kasi we didn't have any patients yet.
Yeah.
Wala pa kaming practice. So we had that choice, magta-training pa ba? Or go into straight as OBGYNs, no? Wala nang subspecialty training. Yun. So that was the most
Fork
important
road, no?
choice.
Yeah.
Kasi ang hirap mag-decide, baby, training. Parang ganon.
What did you, so what happened then? You ended up you applied and then you got in?
Yes.
Okay.
Fortunately, I got in.
Yes.
No? So I was taken in for fellowship training program in UPPGH for reproductive endocrinology and infertility. So at the same time, my baby was at 6 months then. The lolas, were taking care of the little boy.
Thank you, community.
Thank you.
The village around, yeah.
And my husband was in research at that time. So siya yung nagbibigay sa akin ng sweldo. Kasi syempre, if you're training, minsan wala talagang stipend minsan for another subspecialty training. No? So, but eventually, I had that naman. But syempre, it's difficult, no? Because it's the same training all over again. Hindi naman yung parang consultant ka na lalaki. No, it's still training. No? So you spend hours inside the hospital. You go home at night. And then you see your baby. Okay. Tapos, papakainin pa siya maggabi. And then, the same cycle goes on after you wake up in the morning. So, ganun. Ganun yung buhay ko for 2 years lang
2
naman.
2 years. Okay. And then after that, so that focus was already something you're already focusing on now na?
Yeah, that's now my subspecialty.
Yeah, ito na
profession.
siya.
So ngayon, Doc, kamusta yung how is your daily routine? So, and then nga, how is the day,
The day in the life.
The day in the life of
Get ready
doctor.
with me.
Well, syempre, I'm a mom of 2 kids. No, I have a 16-year-old boy who's in senior high school. Yeah, siya yung boy na pinag-isipan ko. Siya ba muna o yung training? And then I have a second boy who's turning 12 this August 18. No? So they're junior high. So in the morning, we wake up early. My husband and we fix the kids. We don't have a yaya. No? So wala kaming house help. Only us, the lolas, and my husband and the kids.
Wow, okay.
So we do the laundry and everything else inside the house. No? So si dad brings si father brings the boys to school. And then, I have a lot of kasi activities in the morning, like conferences. I attend mga audits, no? So, nung pandemic, it was online. So, there were times na we were in the house, yung kids and me, but we didn't see each other until the afternoon. Kasi, we're mostly in the online webinars. But now, they go to school, tapos they come home in the afternoon. Marunong na sila mag-commute.
Yes.
Before kasi we used to pick them up, no? And it was, we made turns naman, kami ni husband. Tapos siguro in the morning, conferences, and in the afternoon, clinics. And then we get the meetings, right and left, no? So, medyo full pack talaga ang...
Wow.
And surgeries also.
And surgeries. Let's not
I
forget
forgot.
those.
Sorry.
Yes.
So we have clinics, I have telemed, I also have face-to-face clinics, and then syempre surgeries, no, that you schedule.
Wow. Thank you for taking the time also at mga
Yes.
interviews as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, are we gonna let's dive right into the subspecialty na ba? And like, why did you choose that specific subspecialty? Was it just, yun yung parang this was heavily suggested by your mentors, right?
Yeah. I have a ninong, no, who's an well-known OBGYN, Dr. Kilyamar, and he was actually the one who pushed me to go into reproductive endocrinology and infertility. Tongue twister, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna repeat that at all.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yes.
Just REI. Pwede na. REI. Yeah. He told me, go into REI. Parang bagay ka for that specialization. But that time, not masyadong aware of what it is really. The concept of being REI was really not solid for me at the time. Because most of my parang experiences, most of it parang high-risk pregnancies, mga cancers, ganyan. So sabi niya, go into Repromed, no? Reproductive Endocrinology, Infertility. And I made the right choice.
What does this focus on more compared to the
other things
know
no,
more
yeah.
about? Yeah.
So Obstetrics and Gynecology is the umbrella, no? So underneath, ang daming subspec, like engineering, electrical, civil, etc. But in obstetrics, you have ultrasound. You have perinatology, which is high-risk pregnancies. You have cancer, gynecologic oncology. You also have pediatric gynecology, and then, syempre, Repromed, no? Reproductive medicine. What do? We deal with women who do not get pregnant, infertility patients.
For talaga siya, parang a branch talaga, or specialization,
Yes.
particularly for women.
For women who are unable to get pregnant, everything under the sun about reproductive endocrinology. You have their endometriosis.
Mm-hmm.
You have polycystic ovary syndrome.
Ay, yes.
Yeah. Menopause is part of our subspecialty training. We do minimally invasive surgeries as well, laparoscopy and hysteroscopy. What else? And all the other stuff, precocious puberty, lahat ng medyo endocrinologic, no? Congenital anomalies of the uterus.
What do you what fascinates you about that part, that subspecialty for you personally? Like, what are the miracles of it? Or like, wow.
Siyempre, the miracle is for you helping a couple get pregnant. That's the most
the frustrating
journey, diba? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, can we talk about endometriosis?
Yes. That's very important.
Yeah. So this isn't. How often does this happen now? Parang tumaas ba, or how has it been? Like, what's the state of it now?
Well, for the viewers, no, endometriosis is a disease. No, it's a disease of women. Years back, medyo hindi siya masyadong pinag-uusapan. Years and years ago, siguro mga resident ako, it was parang brushed off. Yung mga years past, mga lawless brushed it off as, lang yan, pain lang yan.
So parang it's a common...
menstrual pain.
It's a common disease.
That it's kunyari, you have your lola, I have
Sakit
dysmenorrhea.
na.
Oh, it's okay. It's part of growing up and everything else. No? But now because we're getting more aware, no, and that nalaman natin, we realize that the delay of diagnosis would entail a lot of problems. No?
Yes.
So usually 4 to 11 years ang delay. From the time nakita siya, whoever that doctor would be, hindi siya ma-manage. And then it takes about 10 years, a decade before you manage that patient correctly.
How do you know if you have endometriosis?
Well, we all have naman dysmenorrhea, right?
Yes.
Yan, pain during menses, menstrual cramps. But when do you know it's really dysmenorrhea? When it affects, the pain affects your quality of life. Hindi ka na makapunta sa school, makapunta sa work because it's too much. The
Too
pain is too
painful,
much, no? And minsan some patients would have heavy flows. Menstrual flows accompanied by pain. So ang pinaka clincher or symptom is pain. So pain that affects the quality of life of a woman is parang a red flag, no, for patients.
This reminds me of parang mga classmates ko. Like, I had like one particular classmate in high school, I think, na every time she would get her period, first or second day, hindi siya pumapasok sa school talaga. And I was like, oh wow, that's intense. But normal at the time.
Yeah.
But now with research, and I guess like, since we're talking about it more, it's not normal. Pag
It's not
ganon,
normal
It's not.
ganong klaseng
Yeah.
conditions.
Because this endometriosis, aside from it affecting quality of life, there are women who has it kasi hindi na niya alam anong iinumin niya para to relieve her pain, and she thinks na she's parang a burden to the society or to the workplace, no? Or pinag-usapan na siya, parati na lang absent, ganyan-ganyan. But they do not understand that the patient is really suffering. So some patients go into depression. Now, aside from the fact that they have endometriosis, cysts inside, or parang mga implants inside that causes pain, no? So it's difficult for others, no, like men also
to understand.
but it's something that should be addressed, no. That's why we in PSRM would like to educate the patients, no. You have to seek consult kasi baka you brush it off lang. Like it's
tapos,
the normal thing.
yeah.
Mag-ano ka lang dyan.
And we're taught kasi na, pag masakit, like we have a higher tolerance of pain as well. So it's like, oh yeah, it kind of hurts, but then, okay lang kaya to. May presentation ako, kailangan ko pumasok sa trabaho. Ganon.
But it would segue into, if you do not manage it early,
please,
it would segue into infertility. No?
So that it can cause infertility.
It does cause infertility. No? So, between polycystic ovary syndrome and endometriosis, I'd rather have a patient infertile with PCOS than have them with endometriosis. It's difficult.
But it's still possible to treat it if parang it's caught early or ano.
Actually, the term is not treat. No?
Oh, okay.
Manage it, suppress it. Kasi it's really a disease that keeps on coming back. So ngayon, ang dictum is not to do surgery talaga on them. Because as long as you're menstruating, it will keep on coming back. So the bottom line is medical therapy.
To manage
the pain and the lesions.
Okay. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot have kids anymore.
No,
it's still, since it is manageable, there are still a lot of cases of women who are able to power through and bring,
yes,
okay.
yan naman. But they have to be helped.
Yeah, of course.
By the gynecologist.
Is there a way like to prevent endometriosis, or parang is it genetic, or parang may ways ba parang to prevent happening it? Parang ganun.
We don't know kasi who will get them, no? But suffice it to say, siguro some would be genetically predisposed, but some is environmentally developed. Like stress, but the food you get in, you take in, no, just like other diseases like breast cancer. You get breast cancers in younger patients now. You have endometriosis in younger patients as well, or endometriosis that's very, very difficult to treat. And I think coming into the parang studies and developments, it's on endocrine disruptors. No? So mga food intake that mga processed foods, mga plastics that we use for food. No? So those disrupts the hormone of the body. No? So dinidisrupt niya. No? So nagkakaroon ng stimulation on lesions, on cells, no? So, nagkakaroon ng conversions. So, baka kaya meron mga CA or cancers in younger patients. So, pati makeup, So, you choose well your makeups, no? You don't buy from,
kung sansang
non-legit.
Yeah.
But there's a website for that. You look for products that you use, kahit shampoos or lotions, no? And the bottled water that you have, that's good you're using that one. Sa bottled waters, no? So, syempre mga BPAs, ganyan.
Okay. Oh yeah, what should we look into? I mean, it's a lot for sure na mga list, but generally, can you a quick list
when
of
you
things?
Google it down, yung mga endocrine disruptors, no? So, this endocrine disruptors kasi causes inflammation. And endometriosis is one disease that is stimulated or loves inflammation. No? So, inflammatory disease siya. So, if you have endometriosis, no, probably the best way also, aside from the medical therapy, is to shy away from yung mga disruptors. Processed food, meat. Red meat is actually one of the inflammatory makeup. I can't say the products, no, the
or
brands.
particular ingredients. I think that should not be.
No, kasi you have to parang plug it in the website. You look for endocrine disruptor in these types of products, and they'll show you. Syempre, plastics are a no-nos, no, especially for those with endometriosis. Diba, if you take away mga food products, siguro best na you put it in
pag naka-take out box
paper
kasi.
boxes.
Paper instead of plastic.
Instead of plastics. Kasi nagsisip through siya sa food.
So even more parang pag mag-iinit din sa microwave, do not do that. Ooh.
Siguro put it on a plate.
Questions, choices. Okay.
Ang madami. Even for men, actually.
There are risks for that as well. Yeah, totally. Not natural din.
Baka akala nyo girls na infertile.
Akala nyo kayo rin It takes two to
actually, that's my motto. It takes two to tango.
I love that. Yeah, important. It's not just, okay. It's a partnership, no? Kumbaga.
Yes, correct. Okay.
Oh, but speaking of endometriosis, diba?
Yes.
There's something coming up.
We PSRM is hosting a conference on endometriosis. Can you tell us more about this conference?
We're very glad, no? Or we're very honored and excited to host the first ever Asian Congress on endometriosis. We were chosen to host this. This is the 11th Asian Congress on Endometriosis. It's a meeting of minds. No? Initially, it was actually a conference for OBGYNs who are advocates in the management of endometriosis. But in this Congress, this is the first time that we're collaborating outside Obstetrics and Gynecology. Because even though endometriosis is a reproductive or a gynecologic disorder, it's
still part of the body.
Yes, and it goes through a lot of other parts of the body. No? So like the bowels.
Yeah.
You also have pain that's parang refractory na to all the pain medications. You also have endometriosis in children. So you also have pain. You also have endometriosis in, syempre, yung mga autoimmune diseases. Marami ng ganon. So we we collaborated with 12 subspecialty societies, no? So pain. So previously, it was a congress only for obstetricians and gynecologists, researchers who are interested in the management of endometriosis in women. But in this congress in the Philippines, where we're hosting the ACE, the scientific program, we went beyond obstetrics and gynecology. So outside the realm of OBGYN. So we're collaborating with 12 subspecialty societies. Oncology. We're collaborating with Pain Society, Pediatric Society, Surgery, Colorectal Surgery, Autoimmune, Immunology Society. What else? Pediatric Gynecologic Society, Perinatology, because even if you get pregnant, endometriosis, you got pregnant, high risk ka agad.
Right. Yeah,
with
of
that
course.
disease with you, no? What else? Psychiatry is also with us.
That's good. Wow.
Because syempre yung women are
Parang you mentioned kanina, di ba?
magde-depression or
Yeah.
magde-depression sila.
Depression.
We also have pain. Mga anesthesiologists talking also in the Congress. Because what do we do? If ayaw na talagang mag-respond to the pain meds that we give, the usual pain meds that you know of, and the medical therapy that we give, no? What else? We also have collaboration with the Philippine Society for Fertility Preservation. If and when wala nang choice, talagang alisin mo na yung uterus, how do we, and she wants to get pregnant. So we preserve
There's their options
the ovaries,
pa. Yeah,
no? We
right.
preserve the ovaries. So they're talking also of that. And syempre the PSRM, who are doctors who will be talking on IVF programs, in vitro fertilization.
Para marami pa ring
Ang dami.
options
Oo,
for
sobra.
whatever outcome happens. Oh,
Correct.
that's really nice. So parang first time in the country.
Actually,
Tama ba?
in the
Or-
country, but first
Right.
time globally, that it will
That
be
everybody,
Yung
like this.
collaboration with this kind of
Yes.
organizations. And this
Makes so much
is
sense.
when? po ba ulit?
This is on September 24, 25, 26 to 27 at the Marriott Grand Ballroom, where we have Xpert with us to help us with the
Yes.
technical aspects.
Love that.
And for those who want to get more information about the program, about the speakers,
Kasi doctors,
Oo.
saan po nila pwede i-check?
There's a website, no? We have it at ace2023manila.com, no? So you can Google. It comes out naman upfront naman there. And then you can see the scientific program, the speakers. We have actually 20 international speakers coming in, 75 local speakers. And we also have countries coming in, India, Bangladesh, Japan, Korea, and a lot of other countries coming in
Wow.
September.
That's an exciting meeting of great minds talaga.
Meeting
And-
of minds talaga.
Yeah, wow. Oh, that's nice to hear. Parang, so for parang kung like, as a non-doctor, like, do you find out a little bit more about this as well after, like, yung mga findings as, after the conference?
Yes, there are topics that are new to our ears in local setting.
Right.
Syempre kasi in other countries, baka it's the usual thing for them, no? Like salivary biomarkers. Yeah.
Sobrang ano na.
High tech,
advanced na.
but we want to know about that, no? And some high technology or mga new technologies regarding
Mhm.
adenomyosis and endometriosis. Madami pa kasing ibang disease entity si endometriosis, no? And endometriosis, adenomyosis are part of the disease entities we're going to talk about during the Congress.
There's so much to learn po also.
So much.
Exciting.
Ayan. So, ayun. So, paki-mark your calendars sa mga interested to learn more about the endometriosis. So, we have a full Congress para lang sa topic na yon.
Yes, definitely.
So, I think with that, we have exhausted our time for today. So, thank you again, Doc Debby, for being our guest. And
Thank
we
you
will
very
see you
much.
again for our next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for learning with us in this episode. If you are an organization planning to have a streamlined event management system so that you can mount your events worry-free, you may reach us via the link or the QR code shown on your screen. It's time for you to experience the digital transformation and automation with a single press of a button. We will see you on the next episode.